Sizocela ukuthi ke njengangoku members siwuvule umhlangano wethu officially. Nginamkele members zase legislature, my colleagues, ndamkele my colleagues, sihamba admin staff yethu. Ndamkele Mr. Khoza ongoyena olundwendwe lwethu namhlanje ehamba kunye nesigqeba sakhe azokuba kunye nathi kuso kulomhlangano wethu kuso. Siyayazi uba njengangoku sinomhlangano naye okokuqala okokoko ithe yaqala i6th administration esingekazi saze sahlangana nesigqeba sakhe sabalaphi bendabuko. Sithi ke njengoko thina sisazi into ukuthi sisibanye, sithi sicela into ukuthi namhlanje sike silifumane ithuba lokuthi sibeke njengoku siyahlangana nayo isetha kababa uKhoza ukuthi njengangoku sibone into ukuthi sisana phina ukuya phambili. Sendinamkelile nonke ndithi camaku ngenani mathongo amahle, siyanamkela emhlanganweni wethu. Ngizochecka kuwe Xolani i-attendance.
Thank you, Chairperson. We have one apology from Honorable Virana. He's having an appointment with the doctor. Yeah, that's the only apology I have.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Xolani. Ithethe ukuthi njengoku u3 wethu is covered xa kunjalo sikhona sisonke. Then I want us to go through our agenda. Sibone into ukuthi ithini na kukhona esifuna ukwengeza, kukhona esifuna ukuyithatha injalo na ukwenzela uba sizokwazi uba singene phaya ku number 4. Members.
Chairperson uDube.
Siyabulela Honorable Dube. You are adopting the agenda as it is.
Yes, nge-adopta sihlalo ukuthi asiqhube ngayo i-agenda as it is.
Ngiyabonga Dube. Ngizocela njengangoku ozomseconda.
Sihlalo umhlonishwa uMavuso uyamsekela umhlonishwa uDube. Ngiyabonga.
Ngiyabonga nami xa kunjalo kuthi ukuthi ke njengangoku sesiyigqitha apha ku bullet point number 4. Phambi kokuba sibe siyawuqala umhlangano wethu, sinomntwana wethu uThembelani obehlelwe sisihlo esibhlungu. Sikhe sathi ukungabi naye, yambona esithi tshazi evela. Siyakwamkela bonke sithi buya ube kunye nathi. Besinawe ngexesha lobunzima. Nangoku uThixo uzawuqinisa namanyanga kokwenu azawukwenza into ukuthi ukwazi ukuba indoda owakhiwe waba indoda kowenu, ukwazi ukumelana nekhaya lakho njengomuntu oshiyiweyo okhona njengangoku into ukuthi makabhekane nekhaya lakhe. Siyakwamkela ke mntana mkhululeka ukuthi emhlanganweni wethu njengangoku. Sendidlula ke ngizawungena ku bullet point number 5. Akukho okuninzi endiza kukutsho apha ku bullet point number 5 ngaphandle kokuthi silikomiti lomnyango wezempilo sinomsebenzi esiwunikeziweyo. Umsebenzi lowo ongokuqinisekisa ukuthi imithetho siyakwazi ukuba sisishamthetho, siyakwazi ukuyakha imithetho leyo evumela bonke abantu abafanele babe yavumeleka ngokubeka kwabo kwizinhlaka zethu. Namhlanje silapho kulomhlangano wethu sisazi uba sizohlangana ne-stakeholders sethu esingama-traditional health practitioners, abelaphi bendabuko esiyaziyo into yokuthi bagunyazisiwe ngu-Act number 2000 of traditional health practitioners. So njengangoku asikwazi into yokuthi sibe sinokuba nesiqhuba sisiya phambili singekaze sahlala nabo sive into yokuthi bona njengangoku ngokwe-plan esizibonayo kwi-department eyabo i-plan iyaphi na, ithina zintoni na ezenziwa ngabo njengoko sonke sibambisene ekuqinisekeni into yokuthi abantu bakuthi bafumana impilo engcono. Siyayazi into yokuthi njengangoku ngokwe-structure zabo akukho apho bangekhoyo khona. Baqala from i-VD baphume baze ewardini baye kumasipala baye kwi-district babe khona province baphume kwi-province babe khona national. Sibone kune-omission yokuthi sibe kanti asikazange sahlangana nani, kodwa sithe apho besisemgudwini wento yoba sibe siyahlangana nani, kwafumaniseka into yokuthi sesifikelwe ngulo bhubhane wale COVID oye wasenza into yokuthi njengangoku singasakwazi ukuhlangana kakuhle njengohlobo esimele basihlangana ngalo. Kodwa ke sithe noba kunjalo sizawuyenza imigudu yento yokuthi ngokurholwa i-department irholwa ngubaba uKhoza iyawukwazi ukwenza imizamo yento yokuthi i-structure se-province sikwazi into yoba sihlangane naso ke sicobelelane naso sive into yokuthi sona sithe xa besekufika lo bhubhane ii-plan zabo bengula mnyango beyila sector ibe ziziplan ezithini na, bahamba kanjani na. Sizokunamkela sileli committee siphinde sazi into yokuthi ingaba ii-plan zenu zokusebenza kuwona lo nyaka esikuwo siwudibanisa ngokunjalo with the current situation of this COVID-19 ingaba mhlawumbi zithini na. Andifuni ukwanda ndithethe okuninzi lilanga lenu elilanamhlanje senditshilo andazi noba mhlawumbi khona namhlanje bekufuna ukuphawula khona apha ku number 5 lo. Members.
Dube.
Ngena mfowethu Dube.
Nohlalo ngithi mina mhlambe kasibonge ukuthi babe khona abafowethu nodadewethu esihlangene nabo namhlanje. Ngivumelana nawe Somlomo ukuthi mhlambe abake basibekele bona ngasesayidini labo sibonge nje ukuthi ba available bese ukuthi mhlambe ke uma kunencaziselo nemibuzo esingayibuza singakwenza emva kwalokho uma sebe presentile. Ngiyabonga Somlomo, ngiyabonga kakhulu uhlalo wethu.
Awu ngiyabonga Ntongozana Somlomo.
Ngiyakhweza manje, ngiyakhweza.
Hayi mkhwezile mntakadube ngiyabonga. Sele echilo kanjalo umhlonishwa uDube sesizawungena ke njengangoku i-presentation from the traditional health practitioners u6.1 ndizothi ke njengangoku sinikezela kumnyango wezempilo uweke njalo ke babuKhoza xa sisitsho kanjalo.
Enkosi kakhulu Tamako.
Ngiyevakala. Ngiyevakala baba.
Oh sithokoze bogogo, sithokoze bomkhulu. Ngibongele ithuba mphathi Honorable Chairperson, ngibingelele Honorable Chairperson, ngibingelele kuma honorable members health portfolio committee, ngibingelele ithimba labelaphi bendabuko liholwa ubaba uGumede ose ilembe ukuyena chairperson elect ngokulethula kwami. Bese ngithi futhi lapho ukhona ubaba uMhlongo oyi-former interim council for national traditional health practitioners. Bese ngedlulisa isixoliso kodwa ngathi mhlambe no chairperson uzokwenza esayidini lakhe ubaba uGumede isixoliso sika mama ongekho ulokhuzana umama uNgidi engathi ucoincide nokuthi uyabhala namhlanje. Isixoliso ngisithole izolo ebusuku mase sithi siqhubezela zonke izinto honorable chairperson. Ungithi u-deputy chairperson elect ye-provincial exco. She's at Harry Gwala.
Ngiyabonga.
Ngicela sihlalo ukwenza i-preamble ukuthi today you have called this meeting. It's the 26th of August. It coincides with an event called African Traditional Medicine Day and Week, which starts from today up to the 31st of August. The theme by the World Health Organization for this one is 2 decades of African traditional medicine. What progress in the countries have been made? Due to this COVID, no. Hello?
Saluyipinde i-team yenu.
Yeah. It's 2 decades of African traditional medicine. Bracket 2011 to 2020. What progress in the countries? Of course, yes, it's here. I will email it to the legislation. Uhlelo lethuke chairperson was that as silapha ku bullet number 6 is that chairperson or chairperson elect they prepared notes to present to the legislature Babu Gumede, and so I think and then what we have again here, we have all coordinators. Chairperson wethu uvela eIlembe, and Deputy Secretary uvela eMgungundlovu, and of course yes, then Ubaba Umhlongo, and so I will take this opportunity to allow Chairperson Ben Ubaba Umhlongo to lead us on their presentation. Thank you, Chairperson.
Siyabulela kakhulu babaphosa, kodwa sikuboni kakuhle uvelanga. Ngathi ngakuvela. Usezana.
Andivele. Namanje.
Andithi ngiyabona
emkhathini.
So
Wow, wawuvela ke.
Phela ngihamba nabakhulu namhlanje enzwakele.
Ngiyabona impela. Umkhathini uphile nje baba.
Ngiyabonga. Imvumo yakho ke Chairperson. Ngiyocela ke olokhuzana basithathe through ilokhuzana i-presentation engama notes.
siyabonga. Ikhona ingxaki ekhona, socela into ukuthi i-mic zethu sizivale, kushiyeke abantu umuntu ozobe epresenta ozawuvula i-mic yakhe ukwenzela into yokuba kungabikho ngxolo, sikwazi ukuvana.
Yes. Senganikela kinike baba uMhlongo nino baba uGumede.
Ngiyabonga babukhoza, angibingelele esihlalo kanye nama members onke nje akhona. Angazi noma ngizwakala la ngapha.
Uzwakala kahle Mnguni.
Okay, ngiyabonga ma. Cha siyabonga nathi ukuthi sitholele lithuba lokuthi ekugcineni sigcine sivelile noma sigcine siveza uvo lwethu. Nakuba ke izinto zabelaphi zibukeka zihamba kancane noma kukhona la ehamba kube sengathi zisala khona. Asazi inkinga ukuthi ikuphi noma ingxaki ikuphi ekutheni izinto zabelaphi zihambe lemuva noma zisale. Masicabanga noma masikhuluma kahle lo mthetho wabelaphi kusukela ngo-2007 ukhona. Kodwa kuze kube imanje ayikabikho into ebambekayo straight ukuthi lena ke eyabelaphi. Ngibuka ukuthi ingakho nohulumeni ezintweni eziningi esikhohla noma eshiya ngemuva. Ngoba ishikhansela lethu ayikasayinwa kuze kube imanje. Ukuthi yini ebambile asazi. Siyafisa ukuthi ngoba uhulumeni uyathanda naye ukungenelela. Sazi ukuthi kahle inkinga ikuphi kakhulu kithina ne-Department of Health okuyiyona sisebenzisana kakhulu nayo. Ngoba sesithi siyahambisana ne-Department of Health kubonakala ukuthi endleleni sesiyasala, kukhona labasikhohlwa khona noma kukhona labashiya khona. Kodwa mabenza izinto utholakala kube sengathi nabelaphi bathintiwe nalabo angathintwanga khona. Ezinye izinto ezindabelaphi sizizwa thina seyiphuma emaphepheni, seyiphuma endabeni kungathintwanga abelaphi. Sinalenkinga ke enye kuhulumeni wethu mangabe kuzothinta abelaphi. Inkinga esinayo uhulumeni wethu uyawazi ama structures are right la kwi province na kuma district. Kodwa umthola uhulumeni esekhuluma nabanye abantu abasemaceleni esingazi ukuthi basuke bexhumane kanjani nabo. Ngoba yizo izinto lezo esibuka sengathi zibhidanisa inkulumo. Ngiyabonga.
Siyabonga bawupresente njengangoku kuthiwa kuthiwe njengangoku uzawube uhamba kunye nobaba uMhlongo. Ndiyaqonda into yokuthi naye lithuba lakhe lokuthi makabeke eli. Baba uMhlongo.
Ngiyabingelela Ntombi.
Honorable Chair.
Honorable kancane baphumede. Honorable Thakur.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Chair. Good morning. I'm just battling to follow because I thought that if we could maybe have interpretation, or I don't know if some of the speakers can speak in English, it can help.
Thank you so much, Honorable Thakur.
Or if there's a presentation in English, then we can follow.
Babu Khoza, in a presentation in English. Fully mic here, Babu Khoza.
No, Honorable Chairperson, basically translate into English, but we can do that and submit it in within a short space of time so that the members of the portfolio committees members that are battling with the local language can understand it. My apology for that.
Can I then request you to summarize what would have been said by Ubaba Ugumede for the benefit of Honorable Thakur? For now, I would task you to assist us in that.
Okay, okay. Okay. Thank you, Chairperson, for the honorable member to assist. What, in short, what Chairperson was actually alluding to was that they are thanking the government for actually including them in the process, and he expressed the concern that it took time before they were actually involved within the process of the fight against the pandemic, but thinking that at last they've been sort of involved. One of the concerns was that the processes in actually finalizing the institutionalization of African traditional medicine into the national health is that they are taking very slow, and cited the example of the fact that the act that deals with traditional health practitioners was passed in 2007. But the progress that has been made is been so slow that today the interim council has not yet been appointed, and the interim council is not yet functional. Also raised the issue of lack of consultation and the department engaging with some of the external structures without engaging them. And there are people that have got a leeway to actually work with the department direct without violating the normal or the proposed communication structures as provided for in the guideline for the department, to make it easy for the department to communicate with the traditional health practitioners. And also, that was the main gist of the presentation made by Mr. Gumede.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mkhatshini, with the summary that you have done. But fortunately, the legislature is the legislature for the people, by the people. There's no reason for us to struggle to get somebody to do whatever type of interpretation that is needed. I would say now, I will excuse you in the line of presentation. We do have somebody who will be doing the job as per the delegation given to her or him. So asikwazi basibe ngurhulumente wabantu sawugqiba sibe nabantu esizabashiya ngasemva. You are taken care of, Honorable Thakur. You won't be left behind. So
thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you so much. Having said that, can we then proceed to Ubaba Mhlongo, Mshoman?
Okay. Yebo ngiyakuvuma Ntombi. Cha ngiyayibona lento esikhuluma ngayo ukuthi isinesikhathi eside inenkinga ngoba abelaphi baqala ukukhuluma ngokuhlangana nokuhlonishwa uhulumeni ngama-1980s. Ngikhumbula lapho sasithi masiya khona ePretoria kuphethe uhulumeni omhlophe athi ngeke akhulume nathi ngoba siyinhlaka asihlangane sibe into eyodwa. Uthe noma sekukhona uDr Zweli Mkhize wathi uDr Zweli Mkhize uMinister of Health asihlanganeni sibe into eyodwa ukuze senze into eyodwa. Sahlangana ke ngama-1990s 1999 sabe sesihlangana ke ama-association la KwaZulu Natal nje aye-15 ama-associations sawayekisa lawo ma-association ngoba sasifuna ukukhuluma ngezwe lilodwa. Manje la into esiphatha kabi ukuthi uhulumeni uphindela kuleyo nto leyo nhlaka eyayikhona ngama-80s nangama-90s. Ukhuluma nalabo bantu uqhamuka nombani nje akhulume nohulumeni uqhamuke nombani nje akhulume nohulumeni bese phela sesijabula sithi indlela isicacile ngo-act number 22 of 2007 ukuthi izinto ke seyiqondile manje uma kuwukuthi sekukhona i-council ke iphelelwe isikhathi kwafudingeka ukukhethwe kabusha. Akenzeki ke lokho kuze kube manje na ke okunye okusiphatha kabi ukuthi umnyango wezempilo siyezwa kwamanye amazwe bemfunda nje emaphepheni izolo ukuthi khona imithi yaseChina esifuna ukusetshenziswa isetshenziswa lesi sifo eyakithi yona iseliphi ngoba phela angabe bayaxhunywa belaphi ukubuza ukuthi nina yini eningayenza kulomkhuhlane okhona ezweni. Akushiwo lutho nje. Amanye amazwe aze athi thina lapha eAfrika sithanda ukusebenzisa imithi ephuma kwamanye amazwe kodwa sinayo yonke into esingayisebenzisa. Engicabanga ukuthi ke kuyawusisiza lokho uma umnyango wezempilo uzosondela kakhulu kubelaphi baveze ulwazi lwabo. Njena emgwaqweni lapha abantu abadayisa amaklabishi sebayayile amaklabishi sebedayisa imithi okuthiwa umhlonyane ngoba bazi ukuthi inemali esheshayo. Abanye abawazi namhlonyane lo bathatha noma yini nje badayisela abantu bazokufa. Ngizwile kwamanye amazwe kwawona mhlonyane lo usuyekisiwe ukuthi usetshenziswe ngoba kufa abantu ngoba abantu bathatha into ongewona umhlonyane bawusebenzisele into okufanele ngabe isetshenziswa abelaphi. Abantu ke abangabelaphi bayathanda nabo ukwenza izinto ngoba uyabona nje angazi ukuthi umuntu omelaphi uhleli kanjani emgwaqweni. Uhulumeni uthula uthi yena bona umuntu omelaphi ehlele emgwaqweni edlala ngeimpilo zabantu. Labo abantu abahlala emgwaqweni ababanjwa ngani bayekiswe leyo nto. Ngoba phela inyanga kufanele benesigodlo lapho ihleli khona. Abantu beze kuyona ngoba beyificise esigodlweni ukuze ukuthi noma sebexakeka baphindele kuyona. Uma umuntu ehlele emgwaqweni ehleli ku-West Street kuyesonto elizayo bese ehleli komunye umgwaqo engasekho ku-West Street engasatholakali ngoba abanye bavele bayazi ukuthi badlala ngabantu. Uhulumeni akayinake lento akakhulume nabelaphi ngendlela eqondile. Abelaphi kunama-district kunamakomiti kuma-district akhulunywe nalabo baholi kungakhulunywa nanoma ubani. Kunabantu kabawontanda kubukwa umuntu umuzo sephuma eminyangweni esethinta izikhulu zomnyango ngoba yena azana akulandela umthetho. Akungathintwa noma ubani nje ukuthi ngoba mina ngijwayelene nomhlonishwa othile sengizomthinta ukuze izinto zami ziqhubekele phambili. Cha, akulandelwa indlela okuyiyona yona. Sijabule phela masiphethe uhulumeni wabantu. Uhulumeni wabantu awulalela abantu wenza izinto ngendlela abantu abafisa ngayo ukuba zenzeke. Lokho kuyokwenza ukuthi abelaphi ke bahlonipheke ngendlela efanele.
Siyabulela ubani introduction yakho yokuthi into ukuthi kwenzeka ntoni na umkhakha wabalaphi bendabuko. Uyayichaza into ukuthi nihleli phansi ko-Act 22 of 2007 and the person owayiqalayo yaqalwa ngexesha lokuba ngo-1980. From there uyatsho into ukuthi uDr Mkhize onamhlanje ongungqongqoshe wawo umnyango national ongumphathiswa national. Uyatsho ukuthi njengangoku nguyena owatsho wathi masingabikho nhlaka masihlangane. Ngempela nikwenzile ke oko nazenza zonke inasika ukuthi ama-committees makwaziwe into ukuthi njengangoku nine-associations. Kweza associations natsho into ukuthi i-association mazingabi ninzi ngoba ayincedisi le nto. kufuneka ilizwi libe linye elizabe lisiza kurhulumente. Njengangoku ke ndiyaniva niyatsho ukuthi nakuba kunjalo nizibona nisasalela emva ukusukela okokoko niqalile le ndlela. Kunamaxesha ukuba niyifumana i-recognition niphinde kwakhona esithubeni niphinde nizibone senisala ngasemva. Kube nabanye abantu abafika babe zii-representative zenu as the traditional health practitioners bengakhange banikezwa imandate nini into yokuthi mababe baya kuthetha kurhulumente, kanti niyazazi into yokuthi ninazo i-structures ekufanele into yokuthi makube kulandelwa zona. Siyabulela ngoba ayisithi sonke esikule committee esinalo ololwazi olunjalo lokuthi nikhona kukhona ne-act, at the same time ninezinto eninazo enimele baniqhubeleka phambili nazo. Nanjengoko siva i-team ayiyonto elapha e-KZN ingeyonto elapha e-South Africa. We are talking of a worldwide and international sector esele amanye amazwe eyirecognize into yokuthi ikhona. Sithi ke nathi sileli committee sithe masilithathe ixesha lento yokuthi singathi asinazi, siyazi ukuthi nikhona. Kuhle ukuthi nizoba ingxenye yethu, khe nisipresentele into yokuthi ningobani, i-structure senu sithini. Sekukahle ke njengangoku sesiyasibona uba sikhona i-structure esi-electiweyo se-province enawube ke ngoku sesiphinda siqhubeleka umhlangano olandelayo siyazi into yokuthi you will be having ama-representatives from the district so that kungabikho umuntu oyawuthi usele ngasemva ekubeni ekusondeleni kwenu kwi-department nine-plan yenu into ukuthi i-plan yenu ithini. I do acknowledge ukuba uyatsho njengangokuba Bukhoza ukuthi sihlangana nani njengangoku as traditional health practitioner sector apho njengangoku sikuthetha ngo-August. U-August esiyaziyo into yokuthi inyanga yethongo. So njengangoku niyathi into yokuthi on the 31st kuzabe kucelebratewa the African traditional medicine. Ninayo ne-team yenu. I-team yenu iyasibuza, inayo into eyibuzayo ukuthi into yokuthi i-progress ithini na. Mhlawumbi i-progress yenu ingaba ibanjwe esithi nokuba ibambeke phi na. Ndiyayithanda lo team. Sesawuqhubeka sibona into yokuthi ke ekumameleni kwethu uba Bukhoza into yokuthi yena xa besiyijonga i-APP department asibonanga nto ethethayo into yokuthi uhamba aphele phi na uthi uzakwenza ntoni. Kodwa ke njengangoku ndizomnikeza ithuba lento yokuthi njengomuntu ohola le sector yama-traditional health practitioners abelaphi bendabuko sizocela into yokuthi njengangoku akhe abeke. Ndisazawuphinda ndilifumane ithuba lokuthi kube khona ilanga apho nizosichazela kakuhle into yokuthi xa sithetha ngabelaphi bendabuko kuthethwa ngobani, ukuze singafumani njengoko usitsho ukuthi kunabantu abasemgaqweni. Asibazi boba semgaqweni begunyaziswe yintoni, utheni nabesemgaqweni, so that sikwazi ukuyazi into yokuthi xa sithetha ngale sector sithetha ngobani. Thina ke sisishayamthetho sizokwazi into yokuthi silandele le act into yokuthi sithatha isibeke phi na. Senditshilo ke njengangoku ndizotsho into yokuthi sizocela ukuthi ubaba Ukhoza njengangoku okanye mhlawumbi phambi kokuba angene ubaba Ukhoza bendingathanda ukucheck from ama-members akhona na afuna ukuphefumula kuko, okanye mhlawumbi kuzawulindelwa ubaba Ukhoza angene and then sithi ukuphefumula, ngoba thina sizolalela into yokuthi njengangoku ingaba nina plan ithini na malunga nalo bhubhane okhona. Baba Ukhoza okanye ndizoqala ndivike members.
Sihlalo. Siyabonga Sihlalo.
Yebo ngina honorable Cele.
Siyabonga Sihlalo. Besithi mhlambe ungcono silalele ubaba Ukhoza neplan mhlambe ke sixoxe la mase kulapho. Siyabonga. Ususikhulumelile ngoba uvele njengomholi wethu bekufanele ukuthi ube wena sidayo. Siyabonga.
Amakho. Baba Ukhoza cela ungene.
Honorable Chairperson and honorable members, I thank you again for getting this opportunity. Some of what I'm going to say, members will understand. Our plan as a department has been our the sector or the section of African traditional medicine was included now in the APP and also has an operational plan as a moving forward, mainly revolving around institutionalization of the African traditional medicine into district health system via primary health care, because that's where the source, that's where our patients source the first line of health care. And we understand as a department that about 80% of our population still rely on African traditional medicine, and some of them use both systems. And so the department is in the pool to actually go through institutionalization of the African traditional medicine. Part of our plan for this year, Honorable Chairperson, was that we had organized and the plans were advanced to actually host a consultative conference, of which we had sourced funding from Health and Welfare, SETA. I won't go into details of the plan. I'll just highlight the important things that are being done within the department. As we speak, Chairperson, the loophole was found that basically we don't have a national policy on African traditional medicine. And so we reverted back nationally, and I am serving in that community that is actually reviewing the policy on African traditional medicine to ensure institutionalization. In terms of the African, of the communication structures, we are in the process of reviving all the communication structures. In fact, we do have communication structures in all the districts except for one at Umkhanyabote that was still having a challenge to actually put together. The plan consultative forum was going to be attended by roughly around 300 delegates, and the main purpose of that plan, that conference, was to come up with a policy and a strategy for the province or for the department in terms of institutionalization of African traditional medicine. Among other things, then we had also made a proposal to train our traditional health practitioners on certain aspects of governance, like record keeping, etc. And embedded into that project, we have said we still need to train our own health professionals as to how to handle and how to work with traditional health practitioners outside them. And so some of the projects that we were planning were sort of put on hold because of the pandemic. Nonetheless, we did not stop there. From national to us, we developed now, when a pandemic came in, we had guidelines now for traditional health practitioners in dealing with COVID-19 and lockdown, and also moving forward. And that's basically what we as a department, we are doing. Those are the things that were actually inherited into our plan, looking at a framework, looking at a policy, looking at institutionalization, and also the issue of development of the baseline. Of a database to know as to actually how many traditional health practitioners that we are having outside there. That will assist us in going through and establishing the referral system. Because one of the things that traditional health practitioners are complaining is that we want them to refer to us, but we are not referring to them. Until such time that we have a council that is actually operational and they are registered, of which we are working through, then we come up with a system of actually ensuring that the referral pathway is a two-way process. And so we have all those activities. So far, what we have picked up again is that we don't have much support or admin support at a district level because no one is appointed to do the coordination. The coordinators are mainly health coordinators, and they are doing this, by the way. And so we are trying then to assist in terms of developing support staff. And National is coming up with the strategy as to in terms of the staffing and the support at sub-district level. And also we are in the process of preparing, in terms of the plan, we are in the process of preparing our traditional health practitioners for the readiness when the department or national announce the date or the time to actually start with the proper registration. But all that will come with the workshop. And as we speak, I have been moving around all the districts, actually workshopping our leadership, traditional health practitioners leadership in terms of guidelines for traditional health practitioners in dealing with COVID-19 and lockdown. And also, most of the issues there were issues around the permit. And in terms of the act, starting from our constitution, it says one has a right to health care. It does not say which type of health care. That includes also African traditional health care. Coming to the Act, Health Act, it talks about health services. Somebody who provides health services as an essential service. And so that also includes traditional health practitioners. And then you come to Act 2007 of 22, specifically for traditional health practitioners, which means, of course, wheels are running slow, but surely we're getting there. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you so much, Mr. Khoza. You understand your story. You took it where I left. This presentation is clear as they are giving us the background as the department, where they start and where they are now. I think this is the time for members to have a bite on this background report from the traditional health practitioners sector. Members, with the show of hands, as I have said, no one will struggle as far as the interpretation is concerned. Both our guests as well as members will be taken care of. Can I then get a show of hands?
Morning, Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Songwa.
Yes, Chairperson.
Sorry, Honorable Songwa. Let me just get the list as it comes. I am seeing the hand of Honorable Chakur.
Honorable Kwanyana.
Honorable Kwanyana.
Honorable Tele.
Honorable Tele. Honorable Ube.
Honorable Mavuso.
Honorable Sija. Honorable Mavuso. In that, I think I've captured. I will start with you, Honorable Linda Song.
Chairperson, thank you very much for organizing the nhlanganiso. One of the things I want to say from the outset, I'm not so happy with the department's perspective because this has taken long. It's been a while. Kunomthetho yilwayo lapha kuNdlunkulu okhuluma ngabelaphi bendabuko. I want to bring a perspective of integrated health services, that it does not only endorse Western medicine. We must, as Africans, really endorse what is ours, because by so doing, we are also preserving indigenous knowledge and the indigenous way of doing things, of healing people naturally. Ngifuna ke ucela kubaba uKhoza, through you, Chair, it's a way of a proposal which would like to be updated in terms of the operational plan of the provincial government on the areas of referrals. How do they envisage the referrals? I remember at some point in time when Dr. Dlomo was the MEC, there was a lady in Mbali in Maritzburg, I saw that on TV, who is practicing as a traditional healer, Sangoma. There's a lot of good work that was started. Maybe Babu Mkhatini will refresh me. And I saw that and I thought, if we were to follow this kind of a model, we'll avert a lot of issues as Kunyo Babu Njomani. You must have a proper address, really. You must appear like one. So that if there are issues that borders on legal issues, you are contactable. And this act doesn't stand alone. It is within the prescripts of law. And it says, Go Babu Njomane, through you Mkhatini, they are now a subject of the courts of laws. They can be litigated should there be any botched traditional practices that were done. For instance, we read through papers ukuthi umuntu ubeyolashwa mhlambe got raped in the process by the traditional healer. It goes back exactly to what Njomani was saying. All I'm asking, Chair, are three things: is that you concretize and we cement this relationship we have with the traditional healers. We bring each other up to speed in terms of what are they doing, one with regards to a database. That one is very critical. We must know how many do we have. Singangena enkingeni yeinduna yokugcina sineinduna ezingaziwe faceless. So we must know who are our traditional healers, where do they operate from, and what prescripts in law are available for the patients. I would say the patients or the clients that consult them on a variety of issues of health. Sazi ukuthi yini abakwazi ukuyenza, like you have a gynecologist, a physiotherapist, a general practitioner, and so forth. I think that the department has a lot of work to do. So I am wanting the department, the chairperson, which, as you have said rightly, you lifted a critical aspect of the APP, that it doesn't reflect on what Mkhatini was talking about. So it says to me, we may have to venture into that area and say to the department, there's an aspect of health which you have not necessarily procured within your APP, because leon izosiphoqa umnyango sihlalo ukuthi ubuke at establishing an institution that deals with the traditional healers, and also look at further research in the Department of Health on issues of traditional healing. So ngicela ukuthi sisemente lobu buhlobo bethu, but make sure that the department comes up with a functional and operational plan with timelines, specific timelines. It must detail a lot of issues that I've touched on, issues of referrals, TOR, who is a traditional healer, where, what are the contacts, what is it that he or she can do, what are the basic minimum requirements that establishes a traditional healer. But also on the side, yabelaphi bendabuko, Obaba Njomani should understand that they're now ceding power to the state. Bafanele ba understand ukuthi sengingabayise enkantolo if bengifuna ukulashwa ngase ngiyadlwengulwa in the process. But number two, bengizolashwa isifo esinye, maybe an appendix, but kwagcina kukhishwa isisu. I read that in Elangeni. This woman went for another thing to a traditional healer, but wafike wakhishwa isisu. So I'm trying to say, this discussion Mkhatini okhuluma ngayo, the forum, the consultative forum, ihamba kancane njengokuduma kwezulu. Bengicela ukuthi ayithi ukushesha kancane ukuze si-avert a lot of issues. In fact, if our researcher will just harness a lot of information from the 1st of August, you'll be flabbergasted on the negative reporting around the traditional healing. and traditional healers. So all I'm asking is that this institution must be given the respect that we give to Western medicine and the practices thereof, because abantu bakithi, we must not be naive. They do consult traditional healers, and we must also talk about how do I refer if I was a traditional healer to a nearest clinic? Where does my patient go to? Ngoba obvious mhlambe ngeke aye OPD for the first reading, because the assumption is that I've screened him or her. So there are a lot of issues there. If I had my own way, I was gonna say maybe every quarter, let's brief like this. Let's get to know what's happening, because we have people in our constituencies that have been to traditional healers, but izinto zabo zenzekile kahle, and it is upon this, it's incumbent upon us as the legislature to ensure that this act is passed, is signed, and we put institutions that support it. Ilokho sihlale bengifuna ukukusho namhlanje kuseni, we are so grateful for the thought to bring them across. Kuzosihlakaniphisa nathi, even in our debates, we must go beyond the Western medicine and the cultures that are imposed upon us to the detriment of the African institutions and the fundamentals that, keep our people together. A classical issue I was talking about, another person is there is a role of traditional leaders in dealing with people abangama pedophiles, the serial killer in Umthwalumi. There are a lot of other aspects that mhlambe ngenxa yokujaha izinto ngicela singayisebenzisi kodwa i-COVID-19 as an excuse mkhathini, ngoba kade vele lento yama ngokulalela nokwazi kwami, kade nje yama lento. Asivume mhlambe sihlala ukuthi akuyona into ebesiyinikeza kakhulu inqaleko. So-ke I'm closing by saying, I'm looking at gender-based violence. All our platforms have not necessarily factored in view yabalaphi bendabuko ukuthi what is it that we can do as a nation differently in dealing with a scourge esiphakathi kwethu. Angifuni ukukhuluma nge-pandemic. I'm just wanting us to integrate health institution, health systems, ukuthi i-consider ukuthi there is this aspect ukuthi we are Africans, and abantu base-Africa banendlela yabo ababelashwa ngayo, and they still believe that when, whether you call it orthodox or whatever, it works. Thank you, my chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Hlongwa, for those wise words. I would like to check from delegation Yako Babumkatin Uguti, would you like to have an interpreter on what has been said by Honorable Hlongwa? I would like to check from the guests if Kukona Pobaselekon. Babukoza.
Chairperson.
Sizama ukucheka ukuthi sikhona isidingo sokuthi kube kuno interpretwa okube kubekwa ngumhlonitshwa uHlongwa ukwenzela into ukuthi akwazi ukuncedisa apho kudingeka khona kuma gaps abonakele khona.
Okay, angazi ukuthi Bob Gumede, how do you feel? Through you, Chairperson. Ngibona ngathi ngaqhubeka, Chairperson.
Ngizwana kahle bakhona. Kahle. Yeah.
Ngicela angene umhlonitshwa uThakur. Over to you, Honorable Thakur.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Honorable Chair, and thank you to Mr. Vukani. Right. I want to start off by saying, Honorable Chair, that we should take a resolution as a portfolio committee that we need to review the Traditional Health Practitioners Act 22 of 2007, and I think that's going to form the basis of a lot of what will come out of today's meeting. That's the first thing. The second thing is that to Mr. Vukani, I want to express that, I always was passionate about traditional medicine. And I remember in 2004, I had asked Dr. Zweli Mkhize at that time that we include traditional medicine teaching or alternative health or complementary health, whatever, we can call it by. But I wanted it included in the final year syllabus of the medical school students. And the reason I wanted this is that I felt that even as a practicing pharmacist, the allopathic system of medicine was very much against traditional medicines. And I felt that there was a role for traditional medicines, and we needed to embrace it. And more so, we needed to embrace it because we needed to prepare for a comprehensive system of healthcare, sort of a seamless system when it came to NHI. And Dr. Zweli Mkhize at that time was very happy that we must do this kind of training for our medical doctors so that they understand even today what Mr. Vukani is saying about the referral system. And today he's asked a very pertinent question about the role of traditional health practitioners in COVID-19. Now, we know that currently, if you look at how the Act is, it has its limitations. It has a lot of bottlenecks that is brought out. And one of them is the referral system. And I think currently, the allopathic doctors, they're going to be wary of referrals because, as Honorable Shongwa is saying, a lot of litigation can still come from that system if we don't have proper guidelines set. So therefore, we have to call the Department of Health and maybe put these across to them and see what has to be done. But I understand that, as he had said, that National is working on this. The next thing I wanted to say was that, I wanted to ask Mr. Vukani whether they're working with other traditional healthcare practitioners, maybe like in African traditional medicine you get, and it's prevalent in our country, you get African traditional medicine, you get Egyptian traditional medicine or TIBS, you get Ayurveda or Indian traditional medicine. So I needed to check how much of networking was going on there, because I think it can work faster when we look at these different systems. The next thing that we need to resolve on is that also, Honorable Chair, and I remember you did a brilliant debate in the last term. You did a debate on traditional healing. And in that, we said that one of the things we needed to establish as a country, and maybe KwaZulu-Natal, and under your leadership in the Health Committee, we can get this done. We can, get a SAB, like a standard of bureau kind of quality assurance laboratory done in KwaZulu-Natal. And what we can do then, we can work with the traditional practitioners and do research on their different ingredients that they're using to look at the side effects, look at the efficacy, look at the indications, and start helping them to formalize the African traditional medicine so that it becomes acceptable and nobody, can hold them to things, legally speaking, I'm saying. And I think in the final analysis, Honorable Chair, it is very important for us, even as a committee, and because this is such an important subject, that maybe another resolution is that when we're doing an international study tour, maybe we should take it upon ourselves to look at other countries like China, like India, and an African country where such a system is established and it's successful, it's working, so that we don't have to reinvent the wheel and we can adopt those and bring them, and it will make all this work much easier, and really it will help going forward for the NHI. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you so much, Honorable Rajbansi, for the input. I will still continue to check from our guests. Are they still comfortable?
He understood.
Babu Kumet. Babu Kumet. Babu Kumet. Usekunye nathi.
Hlala.
Yebo.
Kakhulu.
Camaku.
Yebo
Xa
ngisekhona.
kunjalo. Andifuna ukubuza Baba Mhlongo.
Cha, nanti into ebengithi ngifuna ukuyisho lana eyokuthi ngiyamuzwa lo okhulumayo uthi kuhle sixhumane nalabo Chinese no Indian na yonke leyo nto. Ngeke sikwenze lokho singakafinyeleli ekutheni sibe ne-council, sibe fully recognized ukuze zonke izinto okudingeka kuxhunyanwe ngazo zibe zenziwa abantu aba-relevant ngoba izogcina intshontsheka lento yethu intshontshwa abantu ngoba benolwazi olungcono kunathi. Ngakho-ke akuphuthume lento yokuba sibe ne-council ilungise yona leyo nto ngoba uma sekuzoqhamuka noma imuphi nje umelaphi aye lapha noma iyiphi nje inhlangano yabelaphi iye lapha bobe benzele ukuthi kudle bona leyo nhlangano yabelaphi akube into yabo bonke abelaphi. Akangabi bikho umuntu umelaphi esothi akazi lutho uma engazi lutho akafundiswe.
Kancane Baba Mhlongo. Kancane sisazonikeza ithuba lokuthi niphefumule bensitsho ngokokuthi ukubeka kwakhe ebeka ngolwimi lwakhe nikwazile ukuyi-understanda kwenzela uba siqhubeke babeke emveni koko nizawungena ke niphefumule. So sesingaqhubeka
siyamuva.
Camaku.
Honorable Mkwanyana. Angibonge sihlalo. Ngibingelele kuwena, ngibingelele kobaba abalapha ama-traditional healers.
Kancane Mkwanyana. Kuno Makhosi umepho phezulu. Onesandla siphakamisile. Mhlawumbe ngake nimnikeze ithuba ngoba ndiyasibona isandla okoko siphakeme. Ukwenzela into ukuthi angene. Ngena.
Ubephakamisele mina ntombi.
Oh, okay. Ake Camaku ke xa kunjalo. Qhubeka ke Mkwanyana.
Angibonge ke sihlalo, ngibingelele lapho kobaba bakhona abangama-traditional healers nakuwonke ama-guest akhona nakozakwethu abalapha emhlanganweni. Sihlalo angibonge nje ukuthi at last kuze kufike usuku olufana nalolu ukuthi sikwazi ukuhlangana nabaholi bendabuko to discuss some other things relevant kakhulu kithina nanokuthi ezi-crucial ngendlela eyisimangaliso. Okokuqala nje sihlalo ngicela ukubonga nanokuthi ama-presentation asenziwe njengamanje mahle kakhulu siyawalalela futhi ayazivusa ezintweni eziningi. Kodwa-ke sihlalo kuyangidabukisa mina ukuthi i-Traditional Council Act namanje ayikaze izisayine since 2007. Yingakho-ke lokhu ubona sihlalo kwenza izinto ey'ningi engahambisani kahle nabalaphi bendabuko nabangathokozi ngakho ukuthi kwenzeka kanjani uma kuqhubeka isimo sefana nalesi. Okuningi-ke bese kushilo u-Honorable Hlongwa okuphathelene nabalaphi bendabuko kanye nathi thina abakwa-health ukuthi funa senze njani ukuze sihlangane sibe into eyodwa. Kodwa-ke sihlalo ngifuna ukusho ukuthi uyasho ubaba uMhlongo uthi laphana emgwaqeni eminingi usufica abantu bezendlalele nje imithi yabo ngendlela abayindlala ngayo. Okuthi ngamanye amazwi abantu sebeyithatha kancane lento yokulapha kwendabuko noma ubani useyithatha into yakhe hamba endlalele emgwaqeni. Okurong lokho ngiyakujabula ngobaba uMhlongo uyakubona lokho. Uyasho futhi ukuthi labo bantu labo abayitholi punishment ngoba badlala ngabantu emgwaqeni. Umuntu abiza umuntu athi woza lapha ngizokubhulela ngizokuhlolela edlala ngomuntu engazi lutho. Ku-right khona lokho impela kusho baba uMhlongo ukuthi izinyanga azibe sesigodlweni zazo. Umuntu ayenyangeni ngoba efuna ukuthi ayothola usizo ngendlela efanele. Hayi uhlaliswe emgwaqeni uhlaliswe umuntu ekubamba ekudonsela kuyena athi uzokusiza uzokwelapha. Nabantu bethu futhi nabo siyafisa ukuthi sihlalo bakuthole lokusizakala ukuthi baqaphele abantu abazinyanga mbumbulu ababehlala emgwaqeni bedlala ngabo. Namanje sihlalo uyafica nje ungabafana ngisho kwamaphara kudayisa amahlamvana emgwaqeni ukuthi kudayisa umhlonyana kanti kudlala ngabantu ababakuyeka abantu lento efana naleyo. Okwesibili ke sihlalo ngifuna ukugcizelela lokho ukuthi uqinisile futhi ubaba uKhoza uma ethi u80% wabantu usarelaya kuma-traditional healers ngoba usafica omunye umuntu ethi ngihambile ngaye esibhedlela angizange ngithole ukusizakala kodwa ngize ngaya kumuntu wesiZulu wangithola usizo wangelapha. Lokho kusho ukuthi ama-traditional healers akasondele kakhulu kithina abantu abasesibhedlela ikakhulukazi nodokotela. Yenziwe le unit yokuthi i-traditional healer nodokotela babe semqondini munye okwazi ukuthi yini esizayo akubonayo u-traditional healer ukuthi kungamsiza umuntu nodokotela abe nalo lolwazi lokucobelela ukuthi yini ofanele ukuthi yenziwe kulowo muntu. I-database ke sihlalo yenyanga ibaleke kakhulu impela ngoba ufuneka sazi ukuthi inyanga ethile ikuphi, ngizoyitholaphi, yenzani lapho ikhona, isiza ngani ngoba kuyiqiniso sihlalo ukuthi inyanga ngeke iyazi ukwelapha yonke into izifo zabantu. Kunabantu abakwazi ukulapha izifo ezithile nabanye abazilapha izifo ezithile kodwa manje umuntu uyenyangeni ivithi inyanga ngizokusiza ngizowenzela yonke into kanti azi kahle ukuthi kuzobe kushaya ngawe ukwenza leyo nto. Ukhona lo kahle ngempela okwazi ukwenza okwazi ukwelapha leso sifo noma onosizo ozolifuna ngendlela efanele. Singavele sidlale inyanga ngalendlela esidlala ngayo. I-database sayidinga ukuzazi zikuphi zispecialize ngani yini esizoyithola kuzona sisizakale ngokugula kwethu. Ngiyabonga kakhulu sihlalo.
Siyabonga Honorable Nkwanyana. Sizodlula size ku Honorable Cele. Awubeke Ndosi.
Yeah. Ngiyabonga sihlalo. Ngiyabonga ngibingelele kubaholi abakhona la abasivakashele namhlanje bokwelapha ngokwendabuko. Ngibingelele kumahlonishwa bonke sinabo kunye nestaff. Ngifisa ukusho ukuthi u-Honorable Hlongwa ukusho konke sihlalo. Ukusho konke ngicabanga ukuthi mengase silandele le ndlela ayisho ngayo ayibeka ngayo because kumina ingenza ngijabule mekusho yena ngoba u-Honorable Hlongwa beloke khona nawe sihlalo benilokhu nikhona nabanye kule ndima. Ngicabanga ukuthi mengase silandele kakhulu kulokho abakushilo kodwa ngifisa ukusho nje ukuthi nathi siyikomiti sihlalo nje basesiqalile asingabe sisama eqhubeke lama meeting mhlambe sibheke ukuthi sizowenza kanjani while sisana lenkinga yokuthi asikwazi ukuhlangana ubuso nobuso. Kodwa siyayifuna into ethi mengabe sekudlulele sisimo esikusona sikwazi ukuthi sihlangane ubuso nobuso sixoxe sindawonye sibonisana. Ngithintwa into ethi isihlalo la bathi kunabantu ababeka imithi yabo babeka emgwaqweni ko Anthony Lembede ko bani ufica kugcwele abantu bethi bayalapha ngokwendabuko kodwa babekile emgwaqweni. Ngifisa ukusho sihlalo ukuthi masibambisene singaqhamuka neplan yokuthi labo bantu labo benza kanjalo baba accommodate kanjani ukuze babe ingxenye yalo lolu hlaka kube uhlaka oluvulelekile bakwazi ukuthi babe neplan yokuthi babaselecta kanjani ukuthi bangene ngaphakathi kunokube babe ngaphandle bebaselecta ngendlela yabo evumelana nabo ngondlela okusebenza kwabo ngoba kunokube babe ngaphandle engcono babe ngaphakathi futhi bakwazi ukubafundisa ukuthi asenzi kanje senza kanjeni kunokube babe but ke okwesikhashana kuyafuna siqhamuke department siqhamuke nendlela yokuthi sixoxisana kanjani nabo makudlula lesi simo esikusona sokuhlangana kube nokwazi ukuthi bakwazi ukuthi bafundiseke. Ngicabanga ukuthi u-Honorable Hlongwa uyishaya isikhonkosini sihlalo into esiyidinga kakhulu eyokuthi sibe neprogram babe nayo iprogram le yabo sibe nayo iprogram yabo yokuthi basebenza ngalolu hlobo and i-department njalo sikwazi ukuthi sibe nolwazi benzani nathi ikuphi la befuna sibasize khona ikuphi la kufuneka nathi siphonse isandla nabo bakwazi ukuthi bayibose sisebenza umphakathi owodwa. Abantu abaningi sihlalo masivumelane nathi sonke siyaya kuma-traditional healers ila sigcina sithi noma uyile kudokotela nje besho Honorable Nkwanyana ukuthi sigcina siphelele khona because uyaya kudokotela mhlambe kungenze ngalendlela ufuna ukwenzeka ngayo ugcina uhambile waya kubalaphi bendabuko. So sisevisa umphakathi owodwa, kumele ukuthi ekugcineni sibe nendlela yokusebenza eyodwa noma singasebenzi ngendlela efanayo, but indlela yokusebenza sikwazi ukuthi sixhumane sifundisane ukuthi ngale ndlela kwenzeka kanje, ngale ndlela kwenzeka kanje. Ngicabanga ukuthi ngalo ndlela singakwazi, angabi i-meeting yokugcina. U-Honorable Hlongwa uthe akanoma uyena nothe kuyabaluleka ukuthi mhlambe at least fortnight sibe nama-meeting. Nabengathi asibheke ukuthi mase sihleli sodwa le-portfolio ukuthi singakwazi ukuhlangana nini mhlambe, because i-schedule sethu sihlala sibhizi, kodwa kungabi isikhathi eside. Kodwa futhi siyayidinga mhlambe sort of ukuhlangana siyi-workshop, sikwazi ukubukana ubuso nobuso, sixoxisane ngezinto ezithize esezivelile ku-Honorable Hlongwa. Ngiyabonga.
Camaku Ndosi, ulandela u-Honorable Dube.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu Sihlalo. Mhlambe ke umuntu akaphinde abonge kakhulu kubaba uMkhathini ngepresentation ayenzile. Sibonga kakhulu baba uBhebhe, siyabonga kakhulu baba, usubambe isikhathi eside lo mkhakha nalomsebenzi. Ngicabanga ukuthi abalaphi bendabuko la KwaZulu Natal kufanele bakubonga ukuba khona kwakho njengomuntu oyibambile wahlahla indlela. Ngiyakhumbula sike saze sangena emsakazweni nawe sikhuluma ngokubaluleka okuba khona kwabalaphi bendabuko. Mhlambe Sihlalo wami esekhulume u-Honorable Hlongwa ngoba usuke wangena ngasekuqaleni wabeka kahle. Ubutheke Sihlalo lo mhlangano ngoba wokuqala umhlangano ukuthi silalele. Nami ke ngithi cha, ngoba silalelile yindi indlela esihanjiwe la, kodwa yabonakala ukuthi iseyinde kakhulu indlela kusamele ihanjwe ukuze nathi sibe abantu abazoba strategic. Asibuyele kwi-drawing board yethu Sihlalo, siholo wena, sibheke lezi zinto sesizibheka written in black and white, ngoba enye yezinto enza ukuthi kungaqhubekeki phambili ngesinye isikhathi kona ukuthi izinto zigcine ikhulumeka singakubheki ngendlela okubhaleke ngayo nala kufanele ku-attachwe khona ama-signature anga-attachwa bese sigcina sibe stuck njengoba si-stuck njengamanje. So mina Sihlalo ngisuggest ukuthi sesilalelile, sibuyele kwi-drawing board yethu, siyithathe lento very serious ukuthi sihlale phansi sibheke njengekomiti bese sidlulela kwi-department, ngoba uma uyibheka it's a very emotional matter ukuthi abantu abafana nabantu abasiza ngale ndlela babukeleke phansi ngale ndlela okwenzeka ngayo. Ingakho ke kufanele ukuthi ngempela sibuke ngale ndlela ukuthi sihlale phansi nawe Sihlalo usinikeze umhlahlandlela, sibhale in black and white uma kudinga sithinta department esenza lokho. But okwesibili ngiyalisupporta ke leli lika Honorable uLinda Hlongwa lokuthi let us have these quarterly meetings, even if it is not quarter for now, kube enye izinto esizoyichecka now and again kuma-committee meetings ethu ukuthi how are we progressing ngalo mhlangano owuqalile. Ngicabanga ukuthi Sihlalo kuningi osekushiwo. Siyabonga nje kakhulu lonke lolu hlelo lwanamhlanje lokuthi lusithathe lusibeke la sikhona. Lwenza ukuthi ke baba uBhebhe uqhubeka wenza umsebenzi ukuthi usifundise njengesizwe generally esimnyama. uMarcus Garvey waqaphela kakhulu ukuthi abantu mawufuna ukuthatha noma yini kubo uthatha isikompilo labo, uthathe indlela yabo yokwenza njengabantu besiko. Siyabonga kakhulu, ngicabanga ukuthi siyanikhuthaza kakhulu ukuthi niqhubeke nomsebenzi wenu omuhle, ningapheli amandla, ningakhathali. Sibonge ke kakhulu nokuthi cha kulezi insuku hayi umhlonyana usebenze kakhulu. Usebenze kakhulu wonke umuntu impela, hayi cha usebenzisile kwathi ngathi nje salalela nina nathi uyasebenza umhlonyana sahlala phezukwawo njoba sisahleli ke nje nisibona si healthy baba uMkhathini sibambe wona umhlonyana. Ngiyabonga kakhulu bekuyilokho nje Sihlalo wami. Thank you very much.
Ngiyabonga Dubeli Mnene. Honorable Secha.
Oh no, angibonge Sihlalo, ngibingelele kubahlonishwa bonke nama traditional healers and our supporting staff. No, Sihlalo, mhlawumbe umuntu akalibonge leli thuba lokuhlangana nama-traditional healers. At last, I think now ikhona wena Sihlalo kuthatha igxathu elibalulekile kakhulu nebekufanele ngabe kudala lathathwa since kwaqala le COVID. Akaze bathathwa serious abelaphi bendabuko. And ngifuna ukusho ngithi Sihlalo mhlawumbe ngizostika kakhulu mina kuyona leyo COVID-19. Because so far mawuthi uyalandela most of death abantu ababuya kuma-urban areas kulento COVID-19, and also those people mawulandela kahle uthola ukuthi abantu abebe-admitted esibhedlela. And then abantu ababuya emakhaya imvamisa yabo noma bathola lele sifo, but u find out ukuthi iningi labo libalwa kubantu abama-recoveries, because labo bantu labo they believe kuma-traditional healers, and ama-traditional healers ayabasiza kakhulu, ayabanika amathize wabo ngendlela yabo bese abantu bayaphila. And those people abantu othola ukuthi bebe under self-quarantine abazange babe-admitted. Most of people esibathola bephila bekwazi ukuthi basurvive le virus. So traditional healers need to be given chance to prove themselves in every diseases that are facing or are taking our country. And the engagement with traditional healers should not be made just to follow a protocol. This must be taken serious. The health department should engage with traditional healers. The first day strike a virus, engage traditional leaders, traditional healers up until this moment. And then engagement yakhona mina angifuni ukuvumelana Sihlalo nokuthi mhlawumbe kufanele kube ne-engagement nama-traditional healers ezothatha ukuthi ama-kotali whatsoever. Angithi siyakwazi ukuthi ekomitini lakwa-health sihlala nabodokotela. If we are taking our traditional healers serious, let them also be brought on board ukuthi they must be part of our portfolio committee. Sihlale nabo, because if you can ask a question ukuthi we need to know them, they must tell us who are they, such things like that. No, that is not correct, Sihlalo, because tonight we are black people, we know our traditional healers, we know how did we grow up and all that stuff. So we cannot ask them who are they actually, but we need Tina as a legislature or a portfolio committee ukuthi sibasize to advance, because njengoba besho bethi kunabantu abadayisa emgwaqweni yonke le nto leyo makunabantu abathi bayinyanga emgwaqweni only to find out ukuthi ngeke umthole umuntu osemgwaqweni ethi ngudokotela or uthole umuntu owunesi osemgwaqweni ethi mina ngiyinesi wozhandla ekhoneni nayi nanka amaphilisi nayi imijovo. Njengoba kungenzeki lokho, it's because government is taking i-Western medicine serious and the sector yakhona, but abathathwa bona serious. This is why kunento efana naleyo. So kunento eyiningi ekufanele zenzeke nekufanele zijikwe nama-amendments amaningi akufanele enzeke into kwa-health ukuthi kukwazi ukuthi babe-accommodated abelaphi bendabuko. So mina nje-ke Sihlalo ngifuna ukubeka caca cha ngiyabazi abantu abaningi emakhaya obothola ukuthi babe nayo le nto ukuthi babe positive kule virus, but only to find out ukuthi ba-attende kuma-traditional healers athile. Bengazange bayodokotela but bahlala nje benze self-quarantine, abantu bavele baphile nje babe right. So far nje mawubheka kuma-rural areas mhlawumbe ngiphuma khona nabantu engibaziyo kade bethole le sifo, but azange abantu anginamuntu engimaziyo engamkhomba kulabo bantu bebekade besizwa ama-traditional healers engathi no kodwa kwabani uze washona. Bonke labantu laba engibaziyo ebengibabona abantu bonke laba ebebegcina bephilile. So, and now, njoba siphuma la, after this meeting, I just saw sihlangana ne-private sector. And I know ukuthi njoba sohlala ne-private sector, bona labo bantu labo, yonke into abiqondile i-straight, kuzobe khulunywa ngama-PPEs ma kuyokhulunywa nabo. Kuzobe khulunywa ngayo yonke inhlobo ye-safety esingakhuluma ngayo. But kuma-traditional leaders, I don't even think ukuthi kwake kwenzeka ukuthi ba-engage khulunywe kubona ngento ezinjengama-PPEs, ngoba kuyaziwa ukuthi abantu definitely sure ngeke bangayibona. Wes mase sekuvela lento yomhlonyana. Mase kuvela lento umhlonyane definitely sure ngaleso sikhathi bekufanele i-government ne-Department of Health yazi ukuthi abantu bayakwazi ukuzitholela into njengomhlonyane. Bekufanele ngabe ihlangane as soon as possible nama-traditional healers yawaletha azokwenza abantu babe aware ukuthi yini engafanele bayenze, yini ekufanele bayenze. Kube khona wonke lawo ma-safety precautions efanele alidwe iwona abalaphi bendabuko, kungasuka udokotela azotshela abantu ngendaba ehlangene nemihlonyane angasilutho ngayo bekhona abantu bendabuko abanolwazi ngalo. So mina all I'm saying sihlalo ukuthi bring those people ama-traditional healers ababe part ye-portfolio committee lakwa-health makuthathwa izinqumo babe bekhona uma kukhona kufanele kwenzeke kuba abantu kube i-engagement ngathi always not to say kube yikotali mhlambe in 3 months or 6 months bayahlangana no akube into nje baseniqala manje sihlalo mhlambe each and every committee niyaqala manje nihlangana ibona bazodelegate abantu ukuthi azohlala but kube nomuntu obahlalelayo. Ngiyabonga sihlalo.
Mama kuseja ngena honorable Mavuso.
Ngiyabonga kakhulu sihlalo ohloniphekile. Ngibingelele kubahlonishwa bonke abakhona, i-support staff. Ngibingelele kubalaphi bendabuko nazo zonke izindlondlo ezikhona. Sibonge kakhulu sihlalo ngokusihlanganisela lo mhlangano we-stakeholder esibaluleke kakhulu kwi-country yethu i-South Africa. Siyazi sihlalo ukuthi ngokwe-constitution yezwe iyasho futhi ukuthi kubaluleke kangakanani ukuthi sibe yizwe elibumbene. Ngakumbi i-constitution constitution yokubusa kwezwe njengoba upresident wezwe ehlale esho ukuthi akekho ongabalulekile kule country yethu e-South Africa. Kanjalo nabalaphi bendabuko sihlalo babalulekile ingakho futhi sifanele sibanikeze inhlonipho ebafanele across the races sihlalo. Ngiyavumelana ke sihlalo nakho konke okuphanyiswe amalunga ahloniphekile ama-resolutions ngethathe kade sebebeke kahle kakhulu abahlonishwa abakhulume ngaphambi kwami. Kubalulekile kakhulu sihlalo ukuzazi ukuthi singobani siphuma kuphi. Upresident ubaba uThabo Mbeki wake wakhuluma indaba yokubaluleka ukuthi sizazi waze wabhala wakhuluma ukuthi I'm an African. Ingakho zibalekile izingcabo zethu sihlalo. Sihlalo bengizophakamisa ke futhi ukuthi sebeshila abahlonishwa ukubaleka kwemihlangano yethu. Kodwa sayidinga nje sihlalo indaba noma summit. Kubaluleke kakhulu ukuthi abe khona lama presentations sibe nawo wonke lama stakeholders nabo bonke laba abahlonipha sebebathinta phambilini ukuthi kubalulekile ukuthi babe khona bazi ukubaluleka kwabalaphi bendabuko enziwe lama presentations. Ngithi angivale lapho sihlalo. Ngiyabonga kakhulu.
Ngiyabonga abahlonishwa ngoko konke eseleni kubekile. Ngiyaqonda ukuthi akekho enomhlenga ngaphandle. Bendizawuthi ke njengangoku elithuba lokuba seniphawule mhlawumbi uba kukhona abangathanda ukuthi baphawule ngako ithimba likababa uKhoza libe linokuthi liphawule phambi kokuba sibe sithi njengangoku umhlangano wethu sibe siyawuvala. Kona njengangoku i-presentation that has been done eyenziwe i-department yenza into yokuthi sibone ukuthi thina silikomiti siza kuyidlala eyethu indima silandele ngoba ndiye ndakhathazwa ukuthi xa bendijonga i-APP okokoko ndiyijonga i-APP ye-department ayithethi into tu ngendaba yento ukuthi kunale sector yabalaphi bendabuko ekhona kwi-department and ino-director. Ndingatsho ndithi into yokuthi ngexesha bendingabuyelanga e-legislature that was in 2014 ndiye ndaba ngudirector kulo mkhakha. Siwuqhubile besikunye nabo babunjomani endiripota kuye ngelo xesha ubaba uKhoza. Njengangoku ndiyathanda into yokuthi xa ngaba sele uvela ukuthi ukhona apho kuye kwasalela khona kwanganakekelwa khona ithathwa njenge-event. So njengangoku xa siyithatha siyizise ekomitini ukuthi njengangoku mayi iyingxenye yekomiti as we are saying ingxenye yekomiti yento ukuthi nje akufani nabantu ukuthi sibanikeze i-license. I-private sector siyinikeze i-license i-accountable kuthi ogqirha njengangokuba ngogqirha ngohlobo lwabo, gqirha base-Western nogqirha from the African side. Sithi ke njengangoku ukuba khona kwabo kuthi sisebenzisana nabo kuneplan eqondile yoku-adressa. Siyayazi into ukuthi lo rhulumente ungenileyo uze kule nto kuthiwa yi-transformation. Ningayibeka i-transformation umuntu oza kuyibeka ngohlobo i-transformation kuguqulwa kwezinto, kukubuyiselwa kwezinto zabantu kubantu. Njengangoku siyayazi into yokuthi akukho nto entsha eyayingaziwa into yokuthi aba bantu bakhona, kodwa ngenxa yesimo esasiphila kuso akukho mntu owayethetha ngento edibene nathi, ngoba kwangekho mntu osimeleyo singabantu we as Africans awayesimele apho kugqitywa khona imithetho, kwenziwe khona izinto. Xa ngaba ke njengangoku sesingenile, laa team yabo iyasibuza into yokuthi seni kule minyaka emingaka ingaba thina sindawoni na. Sithi ke njengangoku siyayamkela le sector, sithi njengangoku i-sector, la institutionalization, it is there and it is where primary health care is, it is where the NHI is. Sithi njengangoku thina kwelethu icala sileli komiti, asiyo department, thina silikomiti elijonge ukusebenza kwe-department into yokuthi isebenza kanjani na, elijonge ukuthi izidingo zabantu zithini na. Ukuba mhlambi umthetho owawubekiwe this Act 22 of 2007 kukhona amagephu akhona abangela into yokuthi mayitshitshilize ngolu hlobo etshitshiliza ngalo, kube nzima into yokuthi mayide ibe ingenile emgaqweni. Ngumsebenzi wethu into yoba sibone into yokuthi ziphi na ezi gephu ezikhona ezibangela into yokuthi mayilibale le nqwelo ekuhambeni kwayo. Ndiyabulela kakhulu malunga eShamthetho ngokuthi umhlangano siye sawubona into yokuthi uyadingeka, uniwamkele ngohlobo eniwamkele ngalo. Ndiziva ndithobeke kakhulu, ndiyabulela. Ngeli xesha ngokutsho kanjalo ke ndizawuthatha eli thuba ndinikeze ithimba likababa uKhoza ukuthi lithi qaphu lingene. Baba Khoza.
Angibonge sihlalo. Sizongena bese nginikeza ke obaba uNjomani. Ngizoreflecta nje entweni ezifew. Ngibonge kakhulu kuma honorable members ekungifundiseni nasekungikhuliseni, ngoba ekunye ngubeke engikubhalile lapha phansi kubukeka kuyizincomo okufuneka ngizithathe ngimele isection emnyangweni. Mangingareflecta nje kokumbalwa lapha umama uHlongwa ngiyavuma mama-ke ukuthi unyawo luhamba kancane, unyawo lonwabo. Ukhuluma mama, you spoke about indigenous knowledge, a plan, provincial one, that has actually rubber stamp and endorse the importance of actually integrating the African traditional medicine into the district health system. We are looking at that one seriously, and as a department, we have established sort of a work stream that is dealing on on African traditional medicine, and we have made the inputs and we have come up with a business plan to the provincial indigenous knowledge and healing integrated strategy for healthy lifestyle. Mama wanted me to give some progress and the light in terms of the referral, and even made a mention of the system that was being used in Umgungundlovu there at Mbali. Yes, actually the referral system or the referrals, the districts that are performing very well is Umgungundlovu through the assistance of an NGO called I Teach. And there was also the first referral system was launched at Amajuba district. That one we are trying to resuscitate. I'm not going to blame or complain about COVID-19, Mark, honorable member Songwa, around the issue of a conference to actually finalize and cement some of the relationship between the department and the traditional health practitioners is such that it coincided that we've been talking on it and we're planning it, and unfortunately it happened that the period that was planned for was engulfed in this issue of pandemic. And then again, my reflection here, Margaret, on also the database story, that also goes to Honorable Takira, issue of a database. I agree. This is what we are actually emphasizing. When the template that we have on database, it actually stipulates as to what's your specialty? Because we can't be looking after all the diseases in the country. That's what we are actually encouraging, that also all our traditional health practitioners must be linked to the facilities to say, around this area, we know that Ukona, Ugogo, so and so, that is actually doing very well in terms of diabetes. The story around the program not being on the APP, then I note that one, honorable members, I will look at it. I think it's an omission somewhere, because if, not that my memory says well, but part of RMEC policy and budget speech, he spoke at length around the issues of actually resuscitating and looking at the institutionalization of African traditional medicine into our district health services through primary health care. To go a bit again on the honorable member, I'm sorry about the surname, how to pronounce this chairperson, Takuri. Honorable member.
Honorable Rajban.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you for all the comments. And what I'm going to elaborate or amplify is around the issue of including African traditional medicine into curriculums for health professionals. Honorable member, last year for traditional medicine, the theme from the World Health Organization said inclusion of the African traditional medicine into curriculums of a medical school or health services schools in the African. The KZN is in the process of that one. For an example, we already have courses at UKZN. We work with UKZN where people are actually being trained on African traditional medicine. That one. And I thank all other members for all the reflection and advice and guidance. And as a department, we note all the reflection and advice. Thank you. I'll call upon other members if they have something. Babu Mshongo and Babu Ukumete, through you, Chairperson. Thank you.
Bangangena Babu Khoza.
Yeah, Mama.
Babu Kumet. Babu Kumet. Babu Mhlongo. I can see your hand, Honorable. I can see your hand, Honorable Thakur. Babu Kumet. Okay, I can't answer it to Babu Kumet or Nell. Babu Mhlongo. Usekon Babu Mhlongo. Usekon Babu Mhlongo. Babu Khoza.
Yebo, to say Honorable Chairperson, because Mepo is still there. They are under that. But I can see the hand of Jay Kumete here.
Okay, ngena Baba Gumede. Can't see it here.
Omini Gumede lo
Okay. Honorable Gumede lo mbonayo. Kuthi ukuthi ke njengangoku ubaba uMhlongo akanako akukho aza kutsho. Ndizothi khawungene Honorable Takur. Come in Honorable Takur. If your hand is up, as it is showing to me.
Yes, Chairperson, I just wanted to make one comment. When I spoke about the South African Bureau of Standards and Quality Assurance, I know that the response was that we didn't want to share networking of the medicines with other practitioners because I think it was about stealing of ideas. But I just wanted to say the reason why I was saying this is because, when you get quality assurance done, you actually patent your product. And when you patent it, you have rights as a country over it. No other country, no other person, no one can steal it, because that's when you even earn royalties like other countries do. And that's why I was looking at that idea. And then the one other comment I just wanted to make was on the consultative conference and the health and welfare CETA. And I was thinking that when this thing is planned and going to go forward, Honorable Chair, then we as a committee, we must be instrumental and be at that conference and with our department so that we can all learn a lot more, because that will be an inclusive platform. And we can learn and teach one another. And I think that, that idea we must work on and follow up with that conference and make sure that it's a reality and our department fully supports it and funds it, etc. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you so much, Honorable Takur. I think in conclusion, let me thank all the members that came to this meeting with all the input that you have given to us.
Chair, Shalom.
Ngena Dubesi.
Ngibona ngathi ubaba uNjomane isandla siphakeme.
Okay, ndiyasibona ke njengangoku. Ndiyasibona, masimnikeze ithuba. Baba uNjomane ngicela ungene.
Hlalo bengicela ukukhuluma cha.
Okay. Okay, kulungile ngena Maphumetho.
Yebo ma. Bengifuna ukuthi ukwelapha kwendabuko.
Kancane Baba uNjomane. Ngicela kundingenise inatsika umhlonitshwa uGumede angene phambi kwakho ukuze ungene emva kwakhe. Ngena Honorable Gumede.
Angithokoze Sihlalo, ngithokoze umphathi wehlelo. Ngibingelele okungenani ke namhlanje kungconyana kuyakhulumeka. Cha, bengifuna ukuthi lapha kuyobaluleka Sihlalo mase senza ama resolutions ukuthi asiqhubele ngoba kade ngilalele aqhubele yokuthi ayakheke le council yama traditional healers kusayinwe zonke izinto zibe in place ngoba masikhuluma ngama traditional healers ukowabeka umbuzo la othi bangobani. That is a very broad question ngoba bahlukene ngendlela ongeke uzuyichaze. Kuyoba ile council ke eyohlala phansi ke ibuku ukuthi isangoma yini, inyanga yini, umthakathi yini. Laba sebethwala ke manje nalaba asebeqhamuka nje out of the blue sebeneyimanga nemgilingwana. Uma singakayibeki le traditional council ibe semthethweni igcotshwe ibeke, bazohluleka nabo abafowethu laba abakwi traditional healing ukuthi baye phambili nokwenza izinto ngoba ileyo platform abayoyithola ke manje ukuthi balungise zonke izinto. Ngikhumbula babumhlongo khona isikhathi la kwathiwa khona ama-traditional healers testwa mhlambe kubonakala ukuthi uyawazi yini umuthi othize noma umuthi othize kuze kubonakala ukuthi wena. Ngabuza mina ngathi mina ungangithesta kanjani mina ngomuthi wakho mina elami idlozi la ngitshelo wami mhlambe lo wakho alusebenzisi. So yikho lento engiyishoyo ukuthi ake kuqale kubekwe le traditional council ixoxwe kahle le ndaba bese iyaqala ke manje kuya categorizewa kwenziwa ama research kuya patentwa kwenziwa yonke into. Angithokoze.
Makhosi uGumede. Yena babu Mhlongo.
Ngiyafisa ukuba kube khona ukunakeka kwalento engikhulume ngayo ukuthi umhlonyana usudayisa emgwaqweni. Ngeke ngathi ngise toll gate kwaqhamuka umfana nokhula nje wathi umhlonyana. Iyangiphatha kabi le nto ngoba abanye abantu bazogcina befa yilo umhlonyana uma kuukuthi ayinakekile lento yokuthi into ephathelene ne-COVID ayingabi yinto kanoma ubani nje lapha emgwaqweni. Akuyiwe kubelaphi ey'ndumbeni zabo ukuze lento iqonde kahle. Okunye okungijabulisayo ukuthi abaholi esikhuluma nabo namhlanje abaholi abayizwayo lento emzweni yami. Ukube sasinalolu hlobo lwabaholi uqala ukukhulunywa ngalezi zinto ngamo-1999 ngabe sikude kabi ngoba phela ukwelapha kwendabuko into endala about 4,000 years ago yayikhona lento iphilisa abantu zingekho lezi ezinye inhlobo zokwelapha nabantu bephila ngalezo khathi. Ngakho-ke singajabula uma kuwukuthi leli ikomiti lizokunaka ukuhlangana nabelaphi, lizokunaka futhi ukuthi ukwelapha kwendabuko kuhlukene njengoba sinezinyanga, sinezangoma, siney'ngcibi, sinababelethisi. Bonke labo bantu banikezwe ithuba lokwenza izinto zabo ngendlela yabo. Seyabhalwa yonke lento abelaphi sesike sabahlanganisa zabhalwa zonke lezi zinto ukuthi benzani laba bantu nokuthi batrainwa kanjani laba bantu ngoba thina sifuna umuntu ozophelela umsebenzi namhlanje abe yinyanga kusasa. Abantu abatrainwe babe nolwazi lwento abayenzayo ngoba abantu bangafa. Kodwa-ke ngiyajabula futhi ukuthi vele nomthetho wabelaphi uyakusho ukuthi umuntu uyoyimela yedwa njengexoxo uma kuwukuthi sekukhona okonakele ekwenzeni kwakhe. Abantu-ke abanikezwe ithuba lokwenza izinto ngendlela okuyiyona.
Baba Mhlongo, siyabulela kakhulu ngegalelo lenu. Siyabulela kakhulu ukucobelelana ngolwazi esisaba nalo namhlanje. Njengoko nditshilo ndathi umhlangano wethu wokuqala nani kule 6th administration esizimisele into yokuthi sifanele kuba sibe kunye nani njengoko senzile namhlanje. Siyatsho ke into yokuthi asiso siqalo ayiso siphelo. Uthi njengangoku siqalile siyaphambili. Ngoba siqalile nje nokuhlangana nani, sizohlangana nani umphelo sawuhlukana nani xa kusithiwa aniyona ingxenye ye-Department of Health. Kulapho ke sawuphuma ke nathi. Kodwa oko njena thina sisazi into ukuthi niyingxenye ye-Department of Health yalo mnyango wezempilo, thina sizawusebenza nani sisiya phambili. Siyalibulela ixesha lenu, siyayazi uba kubhizi kakhulu kwiindumba zenu. Kodwa njengangoku niye nazidina nazinikeza isidima sokuthi nayinikeza isidima le komiti ukuthi nize nizowumamela into yothi ingaba bathini na, ingaba basibizela uba kuzothiwani na. Hayi thina besize umamela nina sizobona into yokuthi singenelela phi na. Abekile ke bonke abahlonitshwa indlela eyaphambili futhi engekho kude kule lo mgomo wento yokuthi kutheni na kuze kubekwe le act 22 of 2007 kwakusukela phi na. Siyabulela kakhulu njengangoku kusukela apha sesawubuyela kuni, sibuyela kuni through i-admin yethu itsho into yokuthi ekubeni sele siye sahlangana nani siye sathatha nazi izinqumo. Ezi zinqumo sizisa kwi-department sizilindele into yoba mazibe zibuyela kuthi kanjani na. Sizawuxhumana nani okokoko, akukho apho kuzophinda kunqumke khona. Siyaqonda into yokokuqala kuthiwa akukho nto enokwenzeka ngaphandle uba siqiniseke ngale council. Le council ekucaca into yokuthi isoloko intengentenge, ingade ibe nandlela eyaphambili. Sithi ke njengangoku singamalungu esishamthetho saKwaZulu Natal, mhlawumbi namanye ezinye izishamthetho zamanye ama-provinces zawuthatha lutho ukuthi ngokuthi singayekeleli umsebenzi ongaka obesele uqaliwe siwubone uyotshona kwantshabalala. Ngaloo mazwi ndithi njengangoku makudede ubumnyama kube kuhle ethongweni, mawabe mahle amathongo wenu, anihlambe nithi xa nithethe izinto ziye phambili. Ithongo alikaze lacinezela, yingako njengangoku lizivukelayo nangoku liyazilwela. Sithi ke njengangoku camaku, thokozani mathongo amahle ngale nyanga yenu ka-August. Siyabulela kakhulu sileli komiti. Xa senditshilo ndiyaqonda ukuthi njengangoku zi-members sifikelela ngicela ukubonga, xolani ngicela uveze ubhime i-agenda yethu. Ndiyacinga ukuthi njengangoku sesingenile ku-7 ii-questions zethu and comments sonke sesikwenzile oko. The-responses esibe nazo ezanamhlanje konke sesikwenzile. Sifikelela ke njengangowesiphelweni somhlangano wethu wanamhlanje. Ndibulele kakhulu ndithi makube kuhle ke ama-members wam. Thank you so much for being in this meeting. All your input will be considered. Ndibulela kakhulu. Ingathi ningahamba kakuhle ke babu ukhoza nethimba lakho. Siyabulela. Umhlangano sesiyawuvala. Ngiyabonga.
Siyathokoza.
Chairperson, please note that we'll be using the same link when we are joining at 2.
Oh.
Okay.
Siyabonga. Thank you so much. Xolani noThami noThembelani sobona nasithe sathi khona. Okanye mhlawumbe i-members ngathi zihlale zisekhona zonke.
Yes,
mhlawumbe andiyazi ukuthi